Perfect. All right. Hi, I'm Tia Cristy, and welcome to Journey to TEDx Wilmington. All right, we do this every single year, right? We have 20, 30, 24 speakers today. And I am so lucky because I'm getting to sit here with Jennifer, who just got off the stage, but we're sitting here holding these books because we are both in these books, right?
Exciting.
And you know what? The coolest part, did you hear? These are now, we're best-selling authors in the US, in the UK.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It's unbelievable. I was actually driving here and got the news, and like literally I was like freaking out in the car. I'm sure everyone around me probably thought I was crazy, but I was like,
you know, I mean, you put a lot of hard work into these things. And the cool part about this book is that this is volume 2. We did this last year as well. So approaching the red circle carpet, okay? And because it is that red circle holds so much clout, and everybody that is in this is either about to grace the stage, or they've graced the stage and they're sharing their story. So I think that if you have any interest in doing a TEDx, you definitely want to check this out because it's going to give you a lot of information.
yes,
All right.
absolutely.
So you'll sign my copy for me later.
Of course, and you'll sign mine. No,
Of course. Of course. All right. Okay, so welcome. All right. How was it? I mean,
you know, as a two-time TEDx speaker, you kind of know what to expect. But with that, you don't know what to expect.
oh,
You think you know what to expect, and then you hit the stage and it's all new. And that's what I love about speaking, because the audience reaction,
yes.
and you know, they're leaning in to hear your story, or they're laughing with you, and like that reaction is so real and raw. It was so cool.
That is so cool. You had a good audience then.
A great audience. I mean, they were, you know, laughing at the right. It was like I gave them cue cards to laugh and to sigh and to go. It was very cool. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love when the latency is on, right? And it's so funny. We were talking about that last night, because the speaker that was on before you, I worked with him. You know, I helped him prepare for today. And I said, if I need to run down there with cue cards, you know, I will.
Yeah.
Like tell them people when to laugh, and you know.
Yeah.
And we joked about that. So I love that you said that. I mean,
Yeah.
full circle.
Oh, how funny that
Yeah.
is full circle.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what was your talk about? Tell me the title.
Yeah. So it was about alignment, and that's where I am. I fell moving this week, so I'm a little off. But it's about alignment and right, and not here, and how businesses can use alignment in order to create great teams.
100%. I agree with that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We have to talk more about that.
Yes,
I think, off
yes.
the camera, but yes,
It is
so cool.
It's amazing to me when I go into a business, how many times within minutes I can look around and be like, they're in the wrong role, this person should be here. And it's just crazy that when you're working in your business, you're in your business, right? You're not always working on your business.
Right.
So you can't take yourself out and really have that 365-degree view that someone like myself can come in and say, hey, did you notice that? And then once you point it out, they're like, oh my God, I get it. I see it. That's why they're not getting along, or that's why we're not getting the results, or, you know, what we need from them, the productivity, because they're a great person. They're just in the wrong place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like wrong lighting,
Yes.
you know? Yeah.
Girl, we know like wrong lighting can do a damage.
It can change everything. Yeah. So, you know, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and people don't think about it. You know, it's one of those things that you think about monetary, right? So you're like, okay, financially, I need to do X, Y, and Z, and this I'm going to get there. And then I need to execute this and this and this. But you don't think about your employees all the time once you hire them.
Right.
And a lot of times that we check those boxes and we send it off to a resume, you know, place, and they send us back. Yeah, they send us back 5 employees. And none of them are really the right fit, because the rest of the team is so different from where they are. But on paper, it's like the dream fit. But then when you really analyze a little bit deeper, you realize maybe it's not the right fit after all. Maybe they belong in this role, or maybe not at the company at all. Might not be a good fit overall with the culture of the company. So
Interesting. You're like Batman Corporation. I love it.
I might have to get myself a cape. I don't know. Today I was told I was Alpha and Alphaba, so maybe I'll get like a long cape, like,
Yes.
to see a Remo.
Perfect, perfect. As long as we just keep you as a superhero. That's all
Right,
I
there
care
we
about,
go. That'd
you
be
know?
fun.
Oh my gosh, no, that's excellent. So, so plug, tell us like, how do people like work with you? Well, first off, how do people reach you if they want to reach you?
Yeah, so I am on social media,
Okay.
Jennifer Behm Lazzarini, and I think the links will all be connected to the site. Instagram, Facebook. You can also email me, which is honestly, I check all my emails. I tell people that all the time because a lot of times an assistant or a VA will check your emails. It's literally just Jenny Lazzarini at me.com. And it goes directly to me. Right there, and my Calendly link is my name, so you can look me up that way. And the cool thing, about connecting with people that way is that I can sit down and find out like what's bothering you in your business, right? Because every business is totally different. Right? Everybody's totally different. We all have different things, and it doesn't matter if you're in accounting and that next person's in accounting. They all have different pain points, and it really you have to sit down and individually personalize how they are spoken to and how you work with them. And I do a lot of personality profiling, which sometimes can be a blessing and a curse because my husband's always like, can you just stop doing
that? I can't turn it off,
I'm like,
honey.
I can't turn it off. I mean, we were changing a toilet and I was laughing because he's a high D, like off the chart D. Like he has his tool, like if you go into surgery, he's the guy you want. Because he has his tools laid out, they all have a home, and I know you can't tell, but off the chart the color pattern that I have going on. And I'm just like, let's get it done. I got other things to do, let's keep it moving. And we were changing out the toilet and I had taken most of the water out and I had forgotten that some of it would residually come into the bowl. So I was the bronze, so I lifted the toilet up and I slimed myself with toilet water. Now it was clean.
Yes, of course, it's clean
For the most part,
but it's from
toilet water,
So
like, and it's funny because I tell people this story when I'm at businesses and I'm like, this is what's happening in your business.
Right.
You have toilet water all over the place. And so when we walk through their business, that's like our little code word of like, that's toilet water. And they're like, I'm gonna have that vision. I'm like, you should, because you need to associate it with something. You need to link it to something visually and tangible, so that way it sinks into your mind, and then you can almost, I call it gnaw on it a little bit, and then really kind of devour the information to make sure you correct the issue.
Right. Absolutely.
So the toilet water.
Yeah, and you're talking about him being a D, you and I, like, where are people finding this information out? Because it's the personality quiz, right?
It is the personality quiz. We give you a personality quiz. You can definitely check us out on my Instagram. Send me a message and I'll link you right to that information. And we'll send it right back to you. And we'll show you exactly who you are. And the cool part is like in your business, you're probably one personality type. And at home, you might be a different personality type.
I'm always the same personality.
What you see is what you get. Right? Yeah, I mean, like, girl, I am the writing on the wall all the time. Like, it's what it is, Every once in a while, I become a D just because I need to get stuff done. And I get in that mode of like, I gotta cross off my to-do list. And I'm like, we need to do blah, 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 blah. And we are not deviating, which for an off the chart eye is very hard. Very hard.
Believe me, I gotta go take this test now and figure out which one I am.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because I am like D and I from what you're talking about so far.
Yeah, and you can fluctuate between them, and it's an ebb and flow too.
Right.
As you mature and you understand life a little bit more, you become sometimes a different personality. I mean, as a kid, I know this is gonna come as a shock. I was painfully shy.
Right. Didn't
talk to anybody. And my parents entered me into a competition and I didn't look up and I was terrified, but I had won money. And man, that spoke to a 12-year-old girl. I was like, ooh, I can get candy at the pool. That's what it was all about back in the day. You went to the pool, that's what you got.
Exactly.
And yeah, I was hooked. And then from there, it just really blossomed my personality. So it was very cool, growth when you look back and you're like, wow, I see that kind of a change in my life. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. I want people to go and get their personalities checked out, because I think that really, once you know yourself, that's really when you can help yourself.
Absolutely. Until you, and this is the other thing too, you have to know yourself in order to put yourself either in a relationship, and that's a relationship with family, that's a relationship with a spouse, that's a relationship with a partner, that's a relationship with your child. And listen, I've done this personality test for parents and they're like, oh, now this makes sense.
Yeah.
This is why, like, my daughter is a painful S, and I love her. I love her with every ounce of my being, but she is very calculated. Everything has a reason, everything has a place, and you get to a place on time, if not 15 minutes before.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas, as my family likes to say, I run on Nancy late Behm time.
Mhm.
That was my late mother, and she always was 5 minutes perpetually late all the time because she was doing so many things. God love her, she was running everywhere. But we try to jam so much in a day that it's like, okay, I'm here. Does that count? Like I
think
made
it
it.
does count. I give you credit.
But and interacting with your children, it's so cool how you can say, okay, I need to take a step back,
Right.
recognize their personality, and say, all right, now I need to calm down. I'm going to talk to you a little bit softer. This is kind of what I need, and this is how we're going to get there. And you get the reaction that you're looking for. You're getting the result that you're
That's
looking
because you're
for.
meeting somebody where they're at. I think that's what people tend not to do and don't end up with the results that they want. So,
Right.
yeah, when I work with clients, I meet them where they're at, my level of education, it's a swing, I can go all over the map, but, I have to know the client and meet them where they're at.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that goes back to alignment, like when you're in a business
Right.
and you're hiring somebody and you need results, right? So you need to know where they're at in order to get from them what you need. Because, and I said this in my talk, it's not, yes, it's an investment in them, right?
Right.
But ultimately, it's an investment in you. It's an investment in your business, in your profits. Because if you are putting the right person in the right role, they're gonna succeed. They're gonna soar. They're gonna create magic within your business, which automatically gives you that profit that you need. And in today's world, I firmly believe you need every small piece of the puzzle that you can possibly have.
Yeah. You know what you made me think of? If you have the person in the wrong position, it's like having a forgotten subscription that you're still paying for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't use it.
Yeah.
The way it should
And they're
be.
just there.
And they're just there.
And you're paying them money,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you're not getting what you need. So why are we doing this to ourselves?
Right.
But we become busy and we're conditioned to just go through the motions, right?
Right. Well, yeah, complacency.
Complacency happens, and sometimes people think, oh, well, it's too hard to like get rid of them and train somebody else. Well, when you do that, you basically are throwing $7,000 down the tube, right? Then about 25% of their salary. So think about that. You pay somebody $100,000, $25,000 plus the $7,000. I mean, you do the math. I'm like, I don't know about you. That's a lot of money when you're a business owner. So I want to make sure that I'm putting the right person there because I need them to perform. And not only that, the culture. Let's just talk about culture.
Right.
When you have the right people in that business and in the right roles, they get along. They're going to go out and have drinks together. They're going to have fun together. Like our restaurant, we would go skiing together. We went to I drove. We were right next to a music venue, which was super cool because we got a lot of the acts would come in before their show.
Right.
And we would have private dinners for them. So that way, they weren't with general population.
Right.
Which was really cool. So we became friends with a band called Iration. And I'm like, hey guys, like only 2 of us can be out of the restaurant. We're a small restaurant. Like we can't all leave and shut down on a Saturday night to go to the show. But I'll make a promise to you. Tomorrow night, they're playing in, I think it was like upstate New York. I said, I will rent a van and I will drive the entire team and pay for the tickets to go to the show. I mean, you want to talk about team morale? Like they were like, yeah, let's go. Like we're gonna, and I'm like, listen, I need you to perform tonight. Like I need you guys to all work together. But like that is culture that is cultivated because we wanted it to be that way. We wanted it to be family. Like they are family, you know, like when somebody loses a parent, you know, you feel that. It's like,
For sure.
you're their brother and sister. And especially in the restaurant industry, it's fast. Everything's fast and it's hot and it's a lot. It's intense, long hours, you're on your feet. So if you're looking at somebody across the line and you're like, man, I just don't have it today. Can you just pick up the slack for me today? And they're like, I got you.
Right.
I got you. And that's one of the stories I told our dishwasher. I mean, she literally is 4'9", can barely see over the line. I mean, you're like, Wani, are you back there? Like, where are you? And she's like, Chef, I got you, you know, like, and she started as a dishwasher and moved herself up. And the best part was the line cooks all knew that if it was a busy Friday night and we had to flip the room, which is basically resetting the entire room after the first round of service.
Right.
They all knew there's all hands on deck. I don't care what you're doing. Turn off the stove or have one person watch everything on the line. And we called it deploy. We were like, okay, we need to deploy right now, you know,
Wow.
and everybody would run out. But ultimately that's because we had the right people doing the right things and motivating their fellow workers to all have a hand in the business.
Yes.
It wasn't just ours, I wanted them vested in it too.
That's a
So,
good regimen.
yeah.
You know, regime.
Regime, yes.
Yes. Where's the restaurant?
So we were in downtown Providence in Rhode Island. COVID took us out,
Okay.
which was fine because I got to spend a lot of time with my children. We have young kids, so I was able to actually spend tons of time with them. So now I cook private dinners and I travel the world. And cook all over the place. My husband was just in Florida cooking for Formula One. We're going to Canada to cook. And yeah.
I'm a certified race car.
Oh, you are, oh my gosh. So, I grew
Haven't
up,
done it in years, but. Yeah.
right? I grew up, you know, my mom was in NASCAR and all that. So that doesn't wow me, but man, Formula One is
Wild.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It
they're
is
wild.
so cool. And not only is it so cool, it's just like, I mean, like the speed they like drive is unreal. Like you are an athlete. I don't care what they say.
It's very.
It's very athletic.
Oh my gosh.
The focus and like that like core muscle group that I'm sure, I mean, I've never driven, I mean, I drove a little fast in the house, but I can't say I'm doing $140, you know, right? But that core, I can only imagine that core, by the time you're done, you feel like you've done 3,000 sit-ups.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So.
it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
I'm sure.
But yeah, I still always remember my coach, he would be like, closer to the wall, D, closer to the wall. And I'm like, no. And he's like, get closer to the wall. And
The
I'm like,
wall's gonna bite me.
if I had a mirror on the car, it would have been gone.
Oh.
Like, already. And he's like, get closer to the wall. And I'm like,
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How intense is that? Yeah.
it's
So,
stupid.
yeah, so
But that's where you really get your.
that's where it sucks that,
Mhm.
it sucks that air, right? It's the
Yeah.
aerodynamicness of it. Yeah, but so we do that and then we do a guest chef, which is a team building experience, which is awesome. We've done this for Hasbro, we've done it for CVS. I just did one in Wilmington, actually, in Newark,
Okay.
a couple weeks ago. And we bring companies in groups, and it can be their C-suite executives or it can be the entire organization. I love when it's the entire organization, including the person who cleans the floors.
I love it.
Because
Everybody has.
everybody has a purpose and you're only as strong as what you're considered your low man on your totem pole. And quite frankly, we have some really great ideas and we don't let them pick teams. We divvy them up. So sometimes the CEO is with the janitor. We do a mystery box challenge. I mean, I won MasterChef, so mystery box challenges were like my jam. I love not knowing what my ingredients was.
Right.
You know, my husband did chopped, same concept.
Right.
And we love watching people like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And they all get assigned different roles. They assign their own roles. And they work through problems that they're having when creating it. And then somebody presents it, everybody has their different kind of task that they do.
Mhm.
And they have a newfound respect, one, for when they watch those cooking shows, everybody's screaming at the TV, do this, do, I mean, I did it, my God. You
And then you're
should
on
have,
this show.
yeah, you should have, done blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you something, 45 minutes is like blinking your eyes when you're cooking like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're Gordon Ramsay breathing down your throat.
Right.
But, so I kind of give them a little bit of that, especially the CEOs and like the C-suite, because I'm like, I'm gonna push you because you need to be pushed, right?
Absolutely.
And then we work through some of the issues they may have, because anonymously, they all put when the issues they might be feeling within the company. So now I'm the bad guy, and now we're gonna work through how we can solve it as a team. And
Oh,
some ideas come from the janitor.
Right.
They come from somebody that was just hired. You never know where those ideas are gonna come from. So to include everybody and give them all a piece of that pie,
Right.
it's awesome to watch. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could talk to you
I-
for 3 days. All right, we gotta go. All right, so this is Journey to TEDx Wilmington. Jennifer, I cannot believe this. This has just been amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you so much.
It's been a great experience. I love it.
Yes, yes. All right, so we're gonna make sure we're connected. Make sure you
Yes.
connect with Jennifer. Make sure you get the book. Read all our stories. They're so much fun. Yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you more.
I know, we will.
Come back. We're gonna have more speakers, so stay tuned.